Welcome to our deep dive into quantum computing. Today, we are exploring the Deutsch-Jozsa algorithm. This is a historic milestone in computer science because it was the first algorithm to rigorously prove that a quantum computer can solve a specific problem exponentially faster than any classical computer. Let us define the problem. Imagine we have a black box function, often called an oracle. This function takes a binary string of zeros and ones as input and outputs either a 0 or a 1. We are promised that this function is one of two types, either constant, meaning it outputs the same value for every single input, or balanced, meaning it outputs 0 for half the inputs and 1 for the other half. Our goal is to determine which type it is. If we try to solve this with a classical computer, we have to check the inputs one by one. In the best case, we might get lucky and find two different outputs immediately. But in the worst case, if we keep getting the same output, we have to check more than half of all possible combinations to be 100% sure. For large inputs, this takes an enormous amount of time, growing exponentially. Quantum computers approach this differently. Using a property called superposition, we do not need to check inputs one by one. Instead, we can prepare the input qubits in a state that represents all possible input combinations simultaneously. This allows the algorithm to evaluate the global property of the function in a single step. This is how we represent the function in a quantum circuit. We call it the oracle, denoted by U sub f. It takes two registers, the input register x and a target qubit y. Crucially, the oracle must be reversible. It adds the result of the function to the target qubit using addition modulo 2. To make the algorithm work, we initialize the target qubit in the minus state. Here is the clever trick called phase kickback. Because the target qubit is in the minus state, when the oracle operates, it does not just flip the target bit. Instead, it kicks the value of the function back into the phase of the input qubits. If the function output is 1, the phase of that state is flipped. This encodes the answer directly into the quantum state's interference pattern. This leads to interference. If the function is constant, the phases are all the same, and they interfere constructively to return us to the starting state of all zeros. If the function is balanced, the positive and negative phases cancel each other out perfectly. This is destructive interference, ensuring that we never measure the all-zero state. Here is the complete view of the circuit. We start with qubits initialized to 0 and 1. We apply Hadamard gates to create superposition. Then, the oracle runs once. Finally, we apply Hadamard gates again to close the interference loop and measure the input register. Notice that the oracle is queried only one single time. When we look at the measurement results, the rule is simple. If we see a string of all zeros, we know for a fact the function is constant. If we see any other result, meaning at least one qubit is a 1, the function is balanced. This gives us a deterministic answer with zero error probability. This graph illustrates the massive difference. The red curve shows the time a classical computer takes, which skyrockets as the input size grows. The blue line is the quantum computer, which stays constant regardless of the input size. This demonstrated for the first time that quantum computing offers a fundamental computational advantage. To summarize, the Deutsch-Jozsa algorithm uses superposition to process all inputs at once, phase kickback to encode information into the quantum state, and interference to amplify the correct answer. It proved that quantum computers are not just faster classical computers, but operate on entirely different, more powerful principles. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.